Welcome to After Hours. December, Christmas time, Hanukkah time. Wait to see what happens. Who's here? Is Jimmy here? Is John here? Is Dave here? Is Larry here? Welcome to the show where the truth will be revealed. Woo!
I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
Standing here with my good friend Bruce from Legendary Foods, and they have done it again. Mac and cheese, 47 grams of protein, only 7 net carbs. I can't tell the difference between this and regular. I highly recommend you try this. I love it. Check it out at legendaryfoods.com.
Energy pouches are the wave of the future, and Underrated Muscles Locked In is first to bring it to you. With between 50 and 100 milligrams of caffeine per pouch, you can dial in the quick, clean energy and focus you need on the go. Simple, easy to use. Pop one between your cheek and gum to get you through your day, to get you through your workout. Code RX20, underratedmuscle.com. Get locked in today.
I haven't seen the sun in a fucking week and a half. Look! It just came out! Look at that!
I love it!
And we're back, and we're live here at After Hours with the Whack Pack. I give George his day in the spotlight to intro the show. I give him a simple rule. Wait for the red light, then go. The red light turns on, I have to say something to you. Can't you follow directions?
Yes, I did. I
Why
wanted
can't
it
you
to
follow
happen.
some direction?
No, now it's even funnier.
Every person I've ever done this with can follow. Even Gregg follows directions.
Dave, there was no red. Dave, you were the red dot.
It said live. We were live. Like Bruce said, go live. I give simple directions, and then you don't even know what to say. You always want to say something, and now you don't have nothing to say.
I did say something.
You were tongue-tied.
Find out if Jimmy's here. Find out if Dave is here.
By the way, Armand's going to be at the doctor today, so he's not joining us. He still has an infection in his spine, unfortunately. So he's got to do another month of antibiotics, IV antibiotics. So he's going to be at the doctor today, and we're praying for him, obviously, because that's, when you have these infections that are won't go away, it's very dangerous because they embed themselves, and then this can be a long process for him. So, and
how does it happen?
Let me tell you, when you're on that many antibiotics for that long, you feel like crap.
What are we talking about? What's going on?
We're echoing.
What are we doing?
You're causing us to echo.
Oh, fuck. All right, let me reboot.
Go fix it. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, the worst thing, you would think the worst thing would be the infection, but the antibiotics, the side effects when you're on them for that long, Larry, what happens? It wipes out all the good bacteria in your colon. You have diarrhea, you get fatigue, your joints hurt. Plus, he can't go to the gym because he's got a PICC line in, so that's his.
Crazy how that happened to him.
It's happening to too many people, though. He has it worse than I think anyone I've noticed had it. I mean, Ronnie was obviously in a coma, but it seemed like Ronnie recovered faster than he did. Once they started.
Yeah, but Ronnie's been kind of downhill for a while. Armin just all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, got that.
Well, Ronnie just out of nowhere had the septicemia too, and he was, he almost died, but once they got him on the antibiotics, it seemed like his body, it cleared out. Like Armand seems to be like embedded in his like spine area, and it was in his knee. I don't know how the heck that happened. It's kind of scary in a way, right?
It's like his immune system is not fighting it.
Yeah. Either that, or there was something he was putting in his body that was not.
Well, he has the other problem too, that he has that thing with painkillers. He can't take them,
Right.
So he's probably like worse. He probably feels worse than a normal person would because the painkillers don't work.
No, I know, but I don't think he needs pain. I don't think he's in pain right now. I think what it is it's the side effects of the antibiotics because,
Yeah, but the whole infection's got to be painful.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that I didn't ask him if the actual infection is hurting him or if
he told me he was in terrible pain.
Was it? This guy's been in a lot of pain for several years now. I don't wish what he's going through on anyone. Believe me, chronic pain is the worst thing. And George, you know this. You saw my father. It changes your personality because what happens is if you're always in pain, it's like you get irritable, and when you get irritable, you don't want to do anything.
He used to have 2 glasses of wine, and then we go to
that was my father's solution to everything.
2 glasses of wine, then we go to the gym. It was like a whole adventure. It was a whole adventure. If I could find the videos of when he was singing at Montana's.
Oh, I know. You got to find those videos. Yeah, that was great. That made his life when you took him there.
Oh, he's like my father. I mean, he's no different than his family, like my father. I mean, there's no,
He loved it. My father was always wanted me to take him to sing at these like piano bars and jazz bars, and a lot of times I was traveling a lot, and so George started training him for a while in the gym, and so he must have told George, "I want to sing." I sing, and so George's like, "I'm going to take you to I'm going to take you to Montana. We're going to sing there," and I think your son videotaped it, right?
Yeah, they loved him there.
He loved that. He told me about that. He was like, George took me to sing. I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Great."
Who was your father singer? Was he like my father, listening to Italian music, like Jimmy Rosselli?
He would sing like Sinatra and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, Sinatra, Dean Martin, Jimmy Rosselli, all of them.
I got Lee Priest hooked on Stimulize Max. By the way, he loves it now.
I need some Stimulize Max.
Is that?
You know what? I'm going to send it to all you guys.
Of all the people who live on
your gums.
What?
Is that the thing you put in your gums?
No. This is my pre-workout. I just relaunched the new
Dave,
one.
explain what's in it, please. Is there caffeine in it? Is there?
There's definitely some caffeine in it. I use a half a serving because I'm a little stimulant sensitive, but it's mostly nootropics, which are like brain. They're basically supplements that make your brain just focus better.
Lion's mane.
Oh, lion's mane is in there.
What?
Lion's mane, right? Don't you have lion's mane in there?
I don't know if we have lion's mane in this particular. I'll read the ingredient list to you here. There's first of all, a lot of these pre-workouts dehydrate you, so we put an electrolyte balance in here. We put some coconut water in here. We put some potassium and sodium
in there.
Because it's a good hydrator. So we use coconut water powder is what we do.
Right, I got you. Yeah.
So there is some caffeine. The alpha GPC is really what really helps kick in the nootropics. We use estrogen too, which is astrologist. And it's funny, estrogen, or people pronounce it different. I call it astragalus. But astragalus is actually, it does a lot of good things in the body. It's actually good for your kidneys too.
How much caffeine?
What the caffeine is? There's a decent amount in there. I believe we have 290 milligrams in there total.
Oh, that's good. Holy shit.
What is 200 milligrams? What is that?
It gets you go, but what you do is you just don't. A lot of people, I wouldn't do it all.
It's like 3 cups of coffee, George.
No, 1 cup of coffee is 200 milligrams.
3 cups of coffee.
I like to drink it over like about 2 hours. So if I'm going to work out at like 12 noon, I'll start it at 11 and I'll start sipping it like now. I've been taking some sips.
That's
of it.
what I do, Joe.
Puts me in a good mood.
That's what I do. I sip it. Idiots that take that whole fucking scoop.
It's too much. It's too much in one shot.
You fucking momos, bro. I gotta sip it. Oh, it stays in you longer. It's better.
That's exactly what I do. I sip it over 2 hours.
If you get too much in you and you can't get it out, you got to ride it out. So it's better to just sip it as you need it. That's the best way.
I use that as an intro workout. I sip it during my workout.
Well, that's what I do, Larry. I start an hour before, and then I go through the workout. So by the time the workout's over, I'm done with it. And it works amazing, And sometimes I'll just use it like during the day, just because I want to get a lot of work done. So
that's exactly the way I do it. I sip it throughout the day if I need it. You know what I mean? Like caffeine. I don't drink coffee, but I'll take that. And then Larry, like you said, I'll do it like during the workout, definitely.
Yeah. My next product is going to be called PMMAA. PMMAA lies. You're going to put it for your penis.
Oh fuck! You know, David, that's what I wanted to. I forgot. I got to tell you guys off the air. Remember a week or two ago, I was telling you about somebody that we know that got that.
That's what I do, Lee. I do have scoop. Yeah.
Shot in your fucking. You remember a couple weeks ago, I was telling you and John and the guys. I'll tell you off the air who was that got that shit shot in his dick, and now his dick's all fat like this.
Yeah, who is it?
No, I don't want to say on here, fuck it.
Got PMMA in his dick?
Somebody you know very well.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you when I tell you who it is, you'll be like, okay, I fucking know.
Is he a male entertainer?
No, no. I'll tell you what it is. I don't want to tell these guys. I could tell Larry and
is he a guy who talks about his wiener all the time?
No, it's a guy who you know very well, but he hasn't been around. He hasn't been around.
John Romano?
No, where is John?
John's in. By the way, John's in Mexico today. So.
John gets PMMA on the eyebrows, so they come up like this.
He said the reception is not good there.
No, we don't believe that. We believe his wife won't let him come on.
Wait, Dave, I'll text you right now who the fuck it is.
Hey, you know they've got a new blood kit out called
I'll email
Review of Revive or something like this. It's
what
like
do they got?
A monthly blood test. And so I wanted it tests your blood for different hormones and everything. Anyways, it's $79 a month, a subscription. They send you a kit and you draw your blood and you draw it at home and you put it in a little thing and send it off to FedEx and you get results in a few days. So I wanted to test it to see if it was legit. So I ordered labs from Private MD and got them drawn at Quest, and then I did the one that they sent me, and they were not pretty close.
Really? What was different? Put it that way. What wasn't accurate?
No, that was all pretty close. The only problem, I was planning to draw it on the same day, but the first one I had was malfunctioned, so I had to call them and they had to send me another one. So I had to order I did the other blood draw like 2 days later, but all the results were pretty much the same as on the one from Quest. The only thing is they don't have as many tests. Like from Quest, they didn't have RBC and all that, but they have all the hormones, the testosterone, the estrogen, thyroid, all that stuff's on there.
That's pretty cheap though, $79.
$79 a month.
Yeah,
and you just do it at home.
To sign up for a year? You have to sign up for a year, Larry? Or
but you can pause the thing anytime you want, so you could get it blood drawn as often as you want or not.
That's a good deal.
But
if you don't have insurance, it's a great deal.
Well, yeah, I have insurance, but my doctors, if I ask them for blood work all the time, they don't want to do it all the time because they like, what do you need it for?
You got to get better doctors.
Well, yeah, I'm at war with.
I never understood why a doctor would be hesitant to order blood work. You would think that
they're cheap fuckers. They don't want to spend money. They
don't. What is it costing the doctor? The doctor.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't know. I just know they'll do it like twice a year for me, and that's it. Other than that, they think that they just don't do it.
See, I have a friend who's an endocrinologist, and so he just writes me the scripts like whenever I want because he's always testing my thyroid. But you got to get a doctor who's on board because
can we have his name?
I got a new endocrinologist, and he's the worst. He's absolutely the worst.
I don't see why a doctor wouldn't want to write blood work. It doesn't. It's a script. Just give it to the person.
He's right though. My doctor's same way. Same bullshit. Yup, he's right. I don't know. He's very skeptical.
Doctor's prescription to get your own blood work. You can't just take.
You can get your own blood work from Quest, but your insurance won't cover it unless the doctor writes a prescription.
Right.
If you don't have insurance, it doesn't matter. You can walk into Quest Diagnostics and say, "Listen, I want to get my testosterone checked, or I want to get a basic metabolic panel done." And if you're willing to pay cash, they'll take it. They don't care.
Yeah, I just paid $300 to get everything done through Private MD, which is drawn by Quest.
Oh, that's what. Okay, that's what it would cost you out of pocket.
Dave, check your email.
So you're saying the $79 one online is pretty accurate, though, right?
It's pretty accurate, except they only do about 15 tests. But I was shocked that my I think it's CRP, my inflammation was like in excellent levels. I expected it to be, off.
Yeah, Scuderi makes a good point there. These doctors will argue with you over a cardiac CT scan. They'll tell you don't need it. Then a week later, you'll have a heart attack, and they'll be like, "Oh, we didn't know. You didn't have any risk factors." Well, yeah, I'm fucking 50 years old. That's my risk factor. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you write a cardiac CT scan prescription for someone who you don't know if they have any blockages in their coronary arteries? It's impossible unless you have X-ray vision as a doctor. So it's better safe than sorry. What are these guys worried about? They have no problem writing a prescription for prescription drugs because they get kickbacks on that, but they won't write a diagnostic test prescriptions. Probably because the insurance companies probably penalize them. Don't give them, don't send them free dinners or something like that.
Dave, I have trouble getting these fucking things right here. What do you call it?
What?
The
enemas?
No, that I have no trouble getting. The strips for your fucking diabetes thing.
Oh, really?
Do you know that these things, like if you get like I take my blood twice a day, right?
Right.
So, and I got to prick the finger.
Yeah.
And they won't give it to you because I'm not type 1 yet. My father became type 1, but so they won't give you the fucking thing that sticks on your arm and shit. Like the Freestyle Libre or anything.
Those things suck anyway.
Plus I don't want that shit. You work out, you're not
using one.
This is what I recommend.
But Dave, these are $100 fucking. You get enough.
I know what you should. This is what you do. Go to Walmart and get their Rely On blood sugar monitor, and their test strips are like super cheap.
Yeah, but wait, hold on. This is a great subject, Dave.
What?
I have it right, and if I take this one,
right,
blood, prick the finger, right, take the blood. This could say like my it's 100. Okay, then I quickly put the Rely On one, the other one, and it's 150. So how could it be 50? I'll do it. I'll fucking do it right now. I'll go get one, and I'll show you the difference. Same blood, same fucking prick.
I go do the experiment. Let's do it.
You want to do it? Okay, Lucia.
Yeah.
Lucia,
here, check this out.
Give me that piece of shit fucking thing.
You see this?
Yeah. Hold it right there. Yeah, a little higher.
Come on.
You lost the screen, Larry. The screen's changed. Look at your phone.
Yeah.
Changed.
Tell Scotty to bring it down.
It was on there before. It said 119.
You see that?
Yeah.
That's a Descom 7. I have it on. I've had it on for like 3 months now. This thing works amazing.
Have you checked it versus a regular blood sugar monitor?
Yes, it's pretty damn accurate too.
Really?
That's your sugar right now.
Except the thing is, I can't put it on my arm like they say because I don't have any fat on my arm.
Oh, so I heard you put it. You put it on your balls.
No, I put it on my upper thigh. It's the only place where there's a little tiny bit.
Set that up.
It doesn't rub against your pants and stuff.
No, and I've been using it for like 3 months, and it's really accurate. And I was shocked. Like my blood sugar, how it goes up and down for when I eat.
No, come over here and they won't see. Just hand this shit to me.
All right,
you ready? Now watch. Okay, I'm gonna put this fucking stick. Whatever you call it, strip in there.
Is Lee, you still listening? I don't know if you know, Greg doesn't have a gallbladder and he's diabetic, so we're testing his blood sugar. I didn't know if you were aware of that.
Watch, look, I'm gonna prick the finger.
He's pre-diabetic.
Who's pre-diabetic? No, I'm diabetic.
No, he's diabetic. Look, anyone who has blood sugar issues, I call diabetic. I don't like they like to make distinctions. Because they don't want to pay for the supplies. That's why.
I just pricked it. Look.
If you have a blood sugar issue, you're diabetic. Okay.
102. Okay, that's that one. And I'm doing the other one. I'm doing the bullshit one. Look, 102, same fucking blood. Now
Lee didn't know that you were diabetic.
141, 142. How could this
no
be?
Idea.
Look at this. Look at this, Dave. Same
Really?
blood right there. Where's the finger?
Wow.
Same blood. There's the finger. Right.
So what's the one that's lower? Which is
this is the bullshit, dude. GOTS, whatever you call that.
Rely on, yeah.
And then this is Freestyle, which is a popular one. The Freestyle.
So you think that one's more accurate than the Freestyle?
Well, yeah, because I can.
I got an idea.
What if the cheap one is the accurate one? The other one sucks.
No.
The other one first.
I could tell.
Greg, do the other one first.
I could tell.
Greg, Lee wants to know how you became diabetic.
How can it be that far off?
Because listen, I do it all the time. I even have the Vario, and that's fucking off. The thing is that the Freestyle's more accurate. That's because these are Ugat's brand. But the thing, I know because I can tell when I go low on sugar, like I start getting that shaky feeling, you know, when I'm in like the 70 or it's 80, I start getting a little bit of shaky, and I'm like, oh, I'm in low blood sugar. This motherfucker will tell me, I'm like, oh, you're 150. I'd be fine. You know what I mean? When I'm low, I got to take in a little sugar. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not accurate. That's what. And these whatchamacallit.
I use the Rely On one, and it's very accurate with me. I don't know, but
well, maybe you're the one who you don't realize. Maybe you know.
No, I have two. I have two of them. So two different.
Greg, just get the thing that you stick on yourself. And
I don't like to wear something all the time.
Yeah, you know, Larry.
You can't even barely tell it's there.
Which one do you use, Larry?
I have the Dexcon 7. I had the Libra as well, but my insurance covers the Dexcon 7, so I just stick it on my upper thigh. And
how come his insurance covers it? Yours doesn't. You're actually a diabetic, Greg.
I know that. Wait, Larry, yours covers it, and you're not diabetic.
Yeah, my doctor prescribed it for me, so my insurance pays for it.
See, this motherfucker. Yeah, but you know what he's done, Dave?
Doctor's not prescribing.
I'll tell you what else too. It's because I'm in New York and they're fucking scumbags here with that matters, your benefits and all this bullshit. Just like drivers, just like your fucking car insurance, you know? It's like insane.
I know.
Well, Larry, so you got the Dexcon or whatever you call it?
Yeah, I got the Dexcon 7 and it's pretty damn accurate. And
what it is, for people who don't know, is you just stick it in. It's like it measures. It doesn't really measure your blood sugar. It measures the interstitial fluid, so it goes right under the skin. And supposedly, it's pretty accurate. The interstitial.
Hey,
fluid.
I compare it to the blood test, the finger prick test, and it's pretty damn accurate.
But Larry, let me ask you a question. Where do you put it? Because see, if I
he just said he puts it on his balls. He can't wear it on his.
No, he doesn't put it on his balls.
No, he wears his upper thigh. He said.
Yeah, I put it on my upper thigh, right on the top, because it's the only place where I have a little bit of skin where I can stick it in.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. So, but it doesn't knock it off when you work out or anything.
No, I do heavy squats and everything with it.
Well, shit. See, maybe I gotta do
just
that.
Fall off. I take a shower, do everything. I don't even notice it.
So you can shower with that, right? Everything.
Oh yeah, you get it all wet, everything. You change.
How often do you have to change it?
Every 10 days.
And how much do those things cost? You know.
I don't know.
Your insurance should cover it. You have Medicaid, Greg.
Dave, I'm on Medicare. I'm an old man. I'm 65. That sucks. You have no choice with that.
It's even better, I think.
No, they don't.
If your doctor orders it, they'll pay for it.
If what?
If your doctor orders it, they'll pay for it.
Yeah, but you know what they say here in New York? If you're not type 1. Now, I'm borderline type 1. My father was type 2. And
believe you're type. They have no idea that you're type 1. You know why you're type 1? You control your blood sugar by not eating carbs. If you ate carbs, you'd be taking fast-acting insulin too. You'd be a total type 1. So you really are type 1 that's just controlled because you control your diet.
Yeah, I'll eat no fucking carbs at all sometimes when my sugar's high.
I know, but I'm saying you control you really are a type 1 because I see what your blood sugars go to if you do eat carbs. They go crazy. So you are a type 1. So I don't know why they're pretending that you're not a type 1. You're definitely a type 1.
Because it's in my genes. It's genetic. My father.
No, I know it is.
My father was a type 1 diabetic. You know what I mean? He's got to take that.
Look, if you have to take insulin to control your blood sugar, you're a diabetic, period. The delineations are really stupid because type 1 really implies the type of diabetes that you have when you have an autoimmune disease, where your immune system has attacked your pancreas, destroyed the beta cells, and you have to take insulin because you have no insulin output. Anyone else is technically not a type 1 because they don't have an autoimmune problem, but just it doesn't really matter. The results of not being able to control blood sugar, it doesn't matter if it's autoimmune related or if it's just because your pancreas burnt out over time because you genetically have a predisposition. The outcome is the same thing. You don't have good blood sugar control, you're diabetic. So who cares what we call it? Type 1, type 2, type 1.5, they call it. Type 3 is dementia type. It doesn't matter. If you don't have blood sugar control, you should be able to get supplies and you should be able to get all the test strips and the insulin covered by your insurance because you have a need. For it.
Dave, this is the thing. I have to buy, right? Now I have to pay for these fucking things, right?
No, I said it's bullshit.
But my benefits will pay for one. They tell me you could test yourself once a day. You don't need to test yourself twice. So now that I test myself twice, sometimes 3 times. It depends if I ate something fucked up. And then I got to pay for the extra ones. And these fucking things cost a lot of money. You could spend $100 on
No, I know test strips are very expensive.
It's the machines. Forget about it. They're nothing. You could buy that shit.
You get a new doctor because your doctor's not doing you any service.
Oh yeah, you have no idea. You know, I got one of those doctors that's afraid. You know what I mean?
He says, show the insurance company a video from Alabama, and trust me, they'll give you.
Show me eating with Lee. Me and Lee eating, and forget about it.
All right. Well, you know, I got a phone call from Amin from prison yesterday, and you know, he had called me and he'd asked me to put some money in his commissary, which I was trying to do, but for some reason, Western Union wasn't allowing me to. It was supposedly going to send a code. It didn't send the code. So when he called, I said, "Listen, I've been trying to send you money. I can't do it." And I said, you know, I know a few other people who, and he's like, "Yeah, no one seems to be able to do it for some reason." So I'm going to send some money to his wife there, who's going to, I guess, manually go send it via Western Union. But if anyone wants to donate, you can contact me. I'll refer you to his wife.
How's his spirits, Dave? Is he good? Is he spiritual?
Yeah, I think he claims that in the cell he's in, there's like asbestos like 4 inches from his face or something like that he's breathing in. It's like an old prison supposedly, and I don't know. I think him and Roger Stone had some kind of falling out, and he's. Because, you know, remember he thought he was going to get a pardon from, you know, Trump.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting any pardons anytime soon, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, but you can't put that on Roger, though. It's not easy to get.
No, it's not right. It's not Roger's onus responsibility to get him a pardon. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate with his situation, but you know, unfortunately, you know, something that you learn very quickly when you're in prison is that all the people that you thought had your back and a lot of your friends, they kind of disappear.
Oh yeah,
prison, and the only people that really hang around are the people who probably really were your friends. You know, so I'm not saying that Roger's not his friend, and I think he is, but I think he, you know, they had a little bit of a falling out because of over some money or something like that. So I don't want to get involved. He wanted me to call Roger for him. I said, listen, I'm not calling Roger. You know, I'm not getting involved. It's your, you know, that's your thing. Roger was always very kind to us. He always came on the show and talked about whatever.
Yeah, I went to Roger's house. I gave Roger cookies.
Did you send him cookies? That's awesome.
No, I went to his house. I gave him cookies.
You went to Roger Stone's house and brought him cookies?
Yeah. I remember that.
I forgot about that.
I actually mentioned to Amin that you know, I can train him while you're not here or whatever, you know what I mean? But
you should train Roger. You know what you should also do? Maybe you could be the official like cookie of the White House. Maybe he can get you like you can make the Trump cookie. Hey, that's a great new idea.
Dude, the Trump cookie.
I know. You know our friend Frank Batassa, George.
Yeah, sure.
Frankie does the Trump Bible. Did you know that?
The Trump what?
The Trump Bible. Have you seen the Trump Bible?
No.
It's a Bible with Trump's picture on the front. They sell a ton of them. Frankie Batassa does that. That's
awesome. I love that.
You could do the Trump cookie.
The Trump Bible. Holy shit.
The Trump cookie would sell like crazy. I'm
gonna come up with the Trump holy water.
You could put like MAGA on the front of the thing, you know, make America great on the cookie, the Trump cookie. Have a big T on it.
That's great.
George, I'm giving you this is a multi-million-dollar idea.
Roger lives about 8 miles from me.
I know, but then I'm saying you could have Roger promote the Trump cookie on his channel and everything like that.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm sure if you made the Trump cookie, Roger could get one of those cookies to Trump himself. And if Trump eats the Trump cookie on air somewhere, you're in. You're done. You won't even be able to keep up with the orders.
He's for American products. He's also organic. Wants to eat organic.
This could be a great deal for you. You'll have to fly Gregg in with his girlfriend Lucia to cook for you, and you guys will be cooking baking cookies all day long. You know, it could be a multi-million-dollar company.
Do you think they'd actually let him have a cookie from a strange source?
Well, they might have to do some. They might have to do some HPLC testing on it.
It would come from Roger. So coming from Roger,
yeah.
they realize He'll
have Roger eat it first, and if Roger lives, then
him and Roger are best friends. They ran, from when they were like in their 20s, hanging out together all the way through. So they've been, and Roger's been
George.
You should
get, like, when you make the cookies, the ones that are broken, like that break up and shit. You should call them the Gregg and Larry cookies, because we're all like broken up from being old and shit.
Like a bunch of old yentas talking about training, talking about.
Listen,
I got my pinky's this, my profile is this, my liver's this, I
got a gift from my fulfillment warehouse. It's a big tub. I should send them over to Gregg. Although you're diabetic, you can't eat them. They're called crumble. Have you seen the crumble cookies? It's like
no. What are they?
They're pieces of broken cookies. Essentially, what it exactly.
Oh shit! Really?
And they cost a fortune. These things, they're delicious, but so you can all the broken ones you can put in and you could call them like like you said, like
the Gregg and Larry cookies. We're right there because we're always doing legs.
Instead of Larry and Lenny, Gregg and Larry.
You could call them the Biden cookies. They're crumbling and falling apart.
Cookies with dementia.
There you go. You got to make everything.
Demented cookies.
Dementia. You should come out with one that's like an
bodybuilding industry. You want to reach the general public, so that's why the Trump cookie.
Exactly.
You got the Biden crumble cookie. You could get the I don't know. I'm sure you could come up with some other
I just delivered bread to somebody that lives in the Broken Sound.
Why don't you wait a minute? What if you took Dave's Stimuli, right? You put that shit in a cookie. We'll call it the Trump cookie, right? You take a bite and you become badass.
There you go.
You know what I mean? You're badass like Trump.
Romano's in Mexico vacationing.
John
Mancini cookie for Titus, and for Diddy. I saw something on Instagram. I don't know if it was true. They say like some guy who used to work for the CIA or something like that is like, no, some guy I think he was for British intelligence was saying that there's some kind of galactic alliance and that Trump is aware that there are aliens and he's in meetings with them and there's a base on Mars.
I saw that. What it is there's actually like a fucking comet or something and it's coming very close to Earth. They talked about it yesterday.
No, that's not the comet.
But they're not sure.
No,
but they're not sure if they said there's a chance there could be extraterrestrial, but it's like a 17% chance. They don't. I just saw the thing. I know what you're talking about.
No, that's Greg. That's been around for the last 3 months.
No, this one's like this week. It's going to be very close to the Earth.
I know, but they know it's.
You're saying
I'm talking about there's some guy whistleblower came out, and he was saying that Trump and that they know about these aliens and that there's an alliance, but that Trump wanted to release it all, and then they said no. The American public is the world population.
Can he get ice after them? Get back to your.
These are real aliens.
Get back to your flying saucer and get
the Democrats are aliens. They're already here.
I got a better thing to talk about. I can't. I don't want to record my call with Amin because I don't want to get him in trouble.
You don't need to do that shit.
He, as it is, when he talks on the phone to me, he talks about things he should not be talking about.
Oh my God!
All those calls from prison are recorded.
Dave, my friend calls me up from prison. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'll say Gary, my boy Gary. Gary, if you're watching, God bless you. You know I love you. But sometimes he'll say shit, and I'm like, oh Christ,
Yeah, they listen to everything.
They listen to everything.
When I was in TI, I got a Vonage phone number. You know what that is? It's like. Yes. So when you make a call from prison, if it's not in the same area code, they charge you for they charge the person who you're calling collect for a long distance call. So my brother set up a Vonage number, which is a local number in the area code so that I would be able to call that and it would forward to his phone. Well, the prison somehow figured it out. And they gave me a bunch of bullshit about it and told me breaking rules and going outside security and all this crap. And it was a whole big freaking mess.
Yeah, because they record those calls, Larry. That's why.
No, they said because they didn't know who I was calling because they can't trace that call to necessarily the actual real caller ID person.
Right. Well, you're supposed to put people on a phone list so they know who you're talking to. By the way, for those of you who don't know, that comet 3i Atlas, I don't know if you know how they designate these things, but the 3 refers to the third.
Right.
I is interstellar, so it's the third interstellar comet that they've tracked.
Right.
And the name of the comet is Atlas, so it's the third interstellar comet Atlas, known as Atlas. So.
It's coming very close to Earth, though, they were saying, and they're studying it right now. I just saw
some of the people that who are supposedly these psychic people and everything like that, or people who are supposedly talk to aliens. They claim that it's a regular comet, that there's some extraterrestrial monitoring stuff on, like surveillance stuff. So that it's like somehow these aliens attached like cameras and shit like that can monitor, other solar systems on it. So when it passes by, it takes.
Can you tell your friends to stop smoking pot and stop doing fucking DMT?
I didn't say they're my friends. This is what I'm hearing. That this is what's going on. But
I have
because they were saying there's some weird. The comet has been doing weird things, like lights have been going on, and it's been there's different weird rare earth metals on it. And what this person who, once again, does these things says that the comet is real, but then there's some, extraterrestrial or technology attached to the comet. That's
how are earth metals on it?
Rare earth metals. In other words, rare metals that you wouldn't see on a comet.
Every metal here, George, came from out there. Just like every drop of water on the earth is actually extraterrestrial. Well, every drop of water came.
I believe in extraterrestrial.
Anyway, all right. So the real part of the whole show I wanted to bring up is that Peter Paul, who's one of the Barbarian brothers, maybe Sid, you could pull up the Barbarian brothers. People who don't know what we're talking about. David Paul, the other brother that passed away a couple of years ago, may he rest in peace. Peter Paul is appalled, no pun intended, or maybe pun intended, at Gregg Valentino, the guy with the glasses.
Oh, here we go. Why did I say now?
Hiding his eyes. He doesn't remember you from Gold's Venice, but he did say you did get old, and
I get the pictures.
Him, so maybe that's why you don't recognize you. But he says that your stories are inaccurate. He won't come on the show because he's waiting to be taken off the blacklist in Hollywood, and he's going to make millions once he does. But he wanted me to play some clips, but the problem was that the clips were so long that I didn't have time to clip them.
Meanwhile, when his brother David and we all went to dinner, and I would talk with John Romano.
20, 30 seconds.
All right. He wanted me to clarify a few things, and then he says that if you dispute him again, he might actually have to come on the show. But right now, he doesn't want to
bring him on. Let him see. I'll show him that this is me. He saw me when I was 21.
He said he doesn't want to reveal what he looks like because he's going to be paid a lot of money for how he looks.
He saw me when I was 21. I'm fucking 65.
I wish John was here. Yeah, I wish John Romano was here because he was part of this whole thing. But you know the whole story.
Well, you've seen the pictures of me right there in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
I know you were there.
Samir Banu.
According to I want to get back. According to the Lyle Alzado story. All right.
Oh, here we go.
All right. I guess this is what he told me. I took notes because it was too long, and he was doing his some of his Land of the Light stuff and rhyming. So I had to pull the stories out from in between. Lyle did an insurance job on his Rolls Royce. I guess did Lyle have a Rolls Royce at one point, Greg?
That I don't know. I don't know what he
Rolls Royce, and evidently he didn't like it. He did an insurance job on it, and I guess Lyle wanted this new Mercedes. So David and Peter Paul had, I guess, inherited 20 grand from their grandmother, and they lent it to him. And Lyle wanted to have a contract with them and everything like that, and David and Peter are like, we're like the Indians. We do a handshake, that's how we do business. Sounds like Mr. G, right? No contract, he said. So Lyle wound up fucking them out of the money. He never paid them back. So I guess they confronted Lyle at the gym one day, and he got pissed off because he got embarrassed. And what happened was David was doing pull downs or something like that. And I guess Lyle came up behind him and just fucking cheap shotted him or something like that, knocked him out. Did hurt him. According to Peter, however, they could have kicked Lyle's ass if they really wanted to because they said they were much stronger than him. They used to curl the 160-pound dumbbells. They front squatted 500.
That means nothing.
You know that Peter actually was coached, and Peter and David were coached by Dan Gable? Did you know that?
Dan Gable, the
wrestling coach.
Dan Gable, the bodybuilder, or Dan Gable, the wrestler?
Dan Gable, the wrestling coach from Iowa.
Yeah, they wrestled.
He went there.
They were wrestlers.
Yeah, they were very good wrestlers. Matter of fact, they told me that
maybe in
at
college.
one point, when they were in the height of their career, because remember the Barbarian Brothers had all those movies out, and they went to the Boston Garden. And the WWE was there, and Hulk Hogan was wrestling, and they were getting up to go into the ring. They wanted to fight Hogan, create some kind of.
Oh, that's why they were training, Dave.
So they got to the ring, and everyone in the Boston Garden was chanting "Barbarians, Barbarians, Barbarians," and the WWE security force wouldn't let him in the ring. Probably because it wasn't organized. They didn't know what they were crazy. The Barbarian, but they wanted.
They were great characters. You'd see them.
They wanted to beat up Hogan. They wanted to beat Hogan up for real, and then they figured it would put them on the map. After that.
They were great characters in the gym.
They should have been. They should have both been in the WWE. Is what they should have been.
You know who they used to hang out with too in the gym? I used to see all the time. Dean Tornabean, who was actually, I actually like that guy. He's a very charismatic.
Yeah.
He was very like he was all over the place in the gym. I love that guy. He was.
I know George. George claims he was the first personal trainer, but according to the Barbarian, to Peter, when Lyle came to them. Lyle, I guess, was like 33 years old, and they were saying he was washed up in his football career, and they said, "Listen, we'll train you," because no one used weight training back then. So they claimed to be the first personal trainers and sports trainers. They trained Lyle. He said Lyle went on a ton of steroids. He'd never taken any before that, and he got huge and strong, and that's when everyone couldn't believe how great he was playing. At that age, but they claimed at least Peter says. It was because they were training Lyle.
Listen, Lyle was a fucking animal even when he was in college. He was an animal in college. He was an animal in the NFL. He would take his helmet off and beat fucking guys with it. He was absolutely insane.
So what story
he was absolutely insane.
What's the first story that they're disputing that Gregg said?
So they're saying that number one,
I got kicked out of the gym. I remember I was there.
Alzado cheap shotted basically David is what happened.
The story that I heard at the time, I was there,
but I was there
was
after.
that they did something at his house, fucked up his house.
Yes.
And he came in the next.
But that was not true. They said that wasn't true. Peter said and he said, take a lie detector test. And he said, will you guys take a lie detector test?
Oh, listen, I'll take the lie detector test. But I'm going to tell you right now, I was there when fucking Gronkowski was telling whatchamacallit, who the fuck was I standing with? Might have been Mike Christian. I don't remember. But he was saying, I had to tell him, you take a break. Can't come to the gym for like 3 months or whatever. Because Alzado was pissed. He wanted to kill him because he went away. They stayed at his house and wrecked his house. That's what Gronkowski said. Right there.
Yeah, and
right there.
anyways.
That's what this.
Stop doing fucking drugs.
Alzado's saying, but that's not really the story. The story was
the story in the gym was Lyle came in the gym and saw them, and he told them, I'm going to go take a shit, and I'm going to come back here. I'm going to beat the shit out of both of you. And he went to the restroom. When he came out, they ran out the gym.
That was not the story.
Listen.
Peter said that David did get hit legitimately by Alzado, but it was a cheap shot, and he got hurt. Lyle hurt him. And that's right. The reason why Lyle was pissed at them was not because of the house. They didn't lose his house. The reason that he was pissed at him is because they called him out on the $20,000 that he ripped them off, that they lent him for that.
Maybe that has something to do with it. I'm telling you, Larry.
I'm telling what Peter told me. That's the story he told me. I don't know why he would lie.
The same story that I heard, and me and Larry didn't know each other.
Lyle probably made up his own story to cover his ass. Don't you?
Right, exactly.
Why don't we get to let's get Gronkowski.
Lyle didn't want to let anyone know that he owed him $20,000.
Hold on a second. At the time, Lyle was a famous NFL football player. Why in the hell would he need to borrow $20,000 from them?
Because this is before I think he made the big comeback.
No, he went. Dave went to his house and had a party while he was in Europe or some shit.
You don't know that. You weren't at the house.
No, I don't know for sure, but that's
you're just passing on the rumor. That was the rumor that went around, and everyone assumed it was true. But I'm telling you, Peter is saying that it's not true.
All right, that's what Peter's saying. But look, I didn't hang out with Peter. I used to give them rides home. Okay, once in a blue moon, I would ask me. Now, I look totally different.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question about the Barbarian Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Were they liars?
I think they're. I don't know. These guys party and shit. Who the fuck knows what they believe?
Those guys were the most truthful, honest people you'll ever meet. They were too honest, and because of that, they got taken advantage of a lot.
They're like Lee.
Then why did
they were too giving? They didn't. Right. They were very naive in the sense that they thought that everyone was honest.
Look,
and
I didn't see that fight.
Someone taking advantage of that.
But why did Gronkowski tell them?
Because Gronkowski believed Alzado. Alzado probably made up the story to cover his ass because he lost he lost their money and didn't want to pay them back, and he said fuck them. That's
I was there when Gronkowski. I can't remember. It was Mike Christian. I was standing with Mike Christian. Might have been standing with Pete Siegel. I don't remember. And I remember Gronkowski coming up. Yeah, fucking. I had to tell him whatever. Now I didn't see no fight. But I can tell you, it's funny that Larry knows the same exact story.
Well, because that was the story that's been going around for 30 years.
James, I was there when this all happened, and that's what everybody said.
And me and Larry know each other.
I'm telling you what's going to happen. Peter's going to come on here and challenge you. I know he will. Tell us the story that you
I didn't see it. All I know is I was at Gold's Gym.
Did you see it? Did you see it with your
eyes?
No,
I didn't see it either, but they all heard the same story, and I heard it from Gronkowski.
Yeah, but you heard what the story that Alzado passed on. You don't know the real story because no one saw the real story.
Well, everybody at the time at Worlds and Golds was telling the story the way Gregg and I said. So yes. I don't know where that got twisted. Somewhere.
Because everyone didn't know what happened. So
but Larry
asked, listen, hold on. They kicked the Barbarian brothers out of the gym temporarily. Yes. All right, because they didn't want any more fights. So Alzado's in the gym now telling everyone his version of the story, obviously, which is that they ruined my house, and that's why I came in here and beat the shit out of it.
I can see that.
Peter is saying that's not the real story.
Yeah, but Larry and I have never talked about this. Larry and I have never, ever talked about this, yet we know the same exact story. Yeah. We were both there at the same time.
Because that's the story that was told.
I'm sure Larry looks different than he looked fucking in 1982
but none of you saw what happened. All you know is what you heard.
See it. I didn't
know the narrative. Hold on. You guys know the narrative that was told.
I was there every day
and
when
passed on from generation to generation, including on this show, because that's what we assumed happened.
But the part of the
telling you, Peter is telling me that's not what happened.
I don't know what the backstory.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Dave, you could be right. The backstory could be that they owed money, but the reality is everybody was saying
Alzado owed them.
Alzado threatened them, and they ran out of the gym.
Yes, that's exactly the way it was told by Gronkowski.
Well, Peter is going to definitely come back with that. I'm just telling you.
Of course, he's going to deny it. Say that we're lying
because Alzado was in the gym and stayed in the gym. His story obviously became the narrative.
I hate to
I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying that's his narrative. I believe that David and Peter, are incapable of lying. They don't know how to lie.
What?
They're like two naive little children. They're incapable. They're not liars. They're just not liars.
Look,
and so
I like the guys.
I believe that Peter's telling the truth.
Look, I like the guys.
In my heart, I do.
I like them. I took them.
And by the I can feel David Paul coming down and telling me that's the truth.
They were funny as hell, but I got to tell you something. I don't think Lyle Alzado wasn't afraid of anybody, right, Larry? Lyle Alzado would have fought 4 guys at one time, and he would have won. Trust me. He was a bad dude.
But he was a bully, Greg. You know he was a bully. Right.
Yeah, but he had it to back up. He was a big motherfucker. He was a maniac. He had a screw loose. A guy who has a screw loose is like you could be 110 pounds and take 10 cops to hold you down. He was nuts.
At the time he was at the prime of his football career, and he was a monster.
See, Larry and I have never talked about this, and we know the same exact story, and we were both there at the time.
I don't think people realize like how small, tight of a community it was, like at Golds and Worlds. At the time, like everybody knew everybody, and everybody talked about everything.
Did you ever ask Peter or David what their version of the story was, Greg?
No, I never asked them.
So you don't really know. Yeah, you don't really know.
No, I never asked.
Those guys are not the kind of guys that would just start. They don't give a shit. They wouldn't.
I heard Gronkowski saying it. You know what I'm saying?
But Gronkowski knew Alzado's one of the guys. He let Alzado stay in the gym, and he kicked the Barbarians out.
Yes, he let Alzado stay there
because he was worried that the 3 of them were gonna do some serious damage to each other in the gym, and then he gets sued. I'm sure that's what happened.
But this is
We should ask Ed Connors. Ed probably knows them.
Yeah, but I liked those guys. I thought
Ed probably knows the narrative that Alzado passed.
But you know what I mean? Like I don't look the same. I mean, you've seen pictures of
me.
me.
Alzado was a bigger star.
I've seen the pictures of me right there. You know
that's why they let him stay in the gym. It's obvious, you know.
But how is he supposed to remember? I was a kid in the gym. I wasn't like some famous guy back then or any of that shit. I was just one of the fucking guys that was there every fucking day.
Did you see the Barbarians curl 160s?
I saw them do a lot of shit.
At an exhibition. They had the Orange County Fit Expo. They went on stage and did the whole thing with they did like a hammer curl with the 160s. Really? It wasn't a regular curl.
Yeah, that's still pretty insane.
Yeah. They had a power that said the Barbarians, and they would sit there and do presses. I used to see it all.
Yeah, they did a reverse grip bench press with 500 pounds. They did a front squat with like 700 pounds or something, and they did a hammer curl with a big dumbbell. I don't remember the exact weight.
Yeah, I never paid attention to that.
According to Peter, he said that his their nickname for Lyle Alzado was Meatbag because he was just a big stocky guy who was never really that muscular. They used to call him Meatbag.
Yeah, but you know, now you're talking about the guy like he's fucking.
Well, he jacked people up on a football field.
Yeah, dude, he was. Come on,
they're saying that they helped make him that badass guy on the
No,
football.
they didn't.
In the second part of his career, not the beginning of his career, the second part of his career.
He was a maniac.
Remember how big
he was?
Do you remember how big he was? That when he
yes,
that's because he went on the juice at that point, and they were training him in the
dude,
gym.
Then he got sick. And did he say
then he got sick.
Dave, it's no different.
Steroids, which will probably
listen. I'm sure he's gonna come on here and tell me and Larry we're full of shit. I don't remember either one of you two. Fuck, well, you could say whatever you want to say. I can prove that I was there. You know, I got the pictures and everything. But the other thing is, I don't get. You know, these guys. You know, they party a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
Pull it up.
You know, Lyle Alzado was a bad dude. He had a screw loose.
Oh, hold on. I think Jimmy the Bull's here. Whoa!
There he is. There he is.
Hey, Jimmy.
What's up, fellas?
Jimmy,
you knew David.
Georgie, how the fuck? First, let me say hello to everybody, please. I just got on the show.
Jimmy.
Greg, how are you?
How you doing, my
Larry,
brother?
how are you?
Good.
George, how you doing? Dave,
Great,
how are you?
thank you.
I love you.
How are you, Jimmy?
Now,
how you doing?
Now, how am I doing? Not that fucking good,
Yeah.
but I'll talk about that as we go on here. So, what do you want to ask?
Hold on. You knew David and Peter Paul pretty well, right?
I trained with David. Yeah, right. I know Peter a little bit because he was in the gym when we were there.
Yeah,
but more David because David used to pick me up.
Do you think that these guys? Would you call them liars? Were they capable of lying?
Who? Pete and Dave?
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
No. All right, thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. But you got to tell Jimmy the whole story, though.
No, all right, so just in brief, I don't want to do belligerence anymore. In brief, according to the legendary lore in the Gold's Gym Venice, Lyle Alzado beat up beat up David Paul in the gym one day because the Barbarian brothers.
We didn't say he beat them up. We said he went after them and they got out of there. And Grimkowski.
No. He actually punched David Paul. That was confirmed by Peter. He punched him in the gym because supposedly the Barbarian brothers held a party at his house when he was away and ruined his house. Now, according to Peter.
Sounds like something I would do, right there.
Yeah, it does sound like something you would do. I think you did it.
It sounds like that. You did do that.
I did
do that.
According to Peter Paul, he said that Lyle Alzado actually borrowed $20,000 from the Barbarian brothers to buy a Mercedes that they had inherited from their grandmother. They willingly gave it to him, and then he never paid him back. When they called him out on it, he got embarrassed, and that's when he made up that whole story. And he cheap shot at David from behind while David was working out one day, and that's where that whole story came from. And they kicked the Barbarian brothers out.
I heard this story when I was out there.
Right.
There you go.
I really don't know what happened because there was like several stories circulating. Actually, and I never asked David what happened when that went down. But
well, according to Peter, that they never ruined his place. And Lyle was just embarrassed by the fact that they called him out in the gym that he owed him $20 grand.
Ed said the same thing. I ruined his place. I didn't ruin his place. I fixed it. I had the carpenter come there and put the towel.
Well, you did ruin it. You just fixed it. That's all.
I fixed the front door because I smashed it.
You fixed it, but you did ruin it to begin with. Yeah.
The poor guy. He probably still ain't right from that day.
No, boy, we were so crazy back then.
He was traumatized.
If you didn't take the garbage out in Ed's house, he was traumatized. You were blasting holes in the wall. That was unacceptable.
Maybe one or two. I had it all fixed. I had the carpenter come there, and I had a little party there one night, and it got out of hand. And
who came to the party?
I had a bunch of friends of mine at that time from Gold's Gym. They came down. They used to come down and spend the weekend with me because I had a in the community, there's a pool in the corner with a hot tub. And so they used to come down. The place Ed's place was tremendous. It was 3 stories high. It had like 4 or 5 bedrooms, 3-4 baths, huge kitchen. It was a nice place,
Yeah.
I should have bought it. He wanted to sell it to me for $90,000 at that time.
Wow, it's probably $3 million now. Yeah.
It's the story of my life. Day $1 short, day late, whatever. However that saying goes, you know what I mean? I should have did it, but I got homesick. I wanted to come home, and I should probably place is worth probably about $2 million now. Who the hell knows, right?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, it was right off Palm Canyon Drive. It was a great place, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Right, I lived right on the bottom of the mountain, man. That's why. Remember, I told you I got bombed one night at Zelda's, and I scaled the mountains in the middle of the night. Right, I was all by myself. I must have been out of my mind. I'm up in the mountains by myself, drunk, going through the trails, and I saw this like stream, and I said, oh shit. So I jumped over the stream, but because I was drunk, I fell on my face, and it was covered with mud. So I went back down the mountain, right? And I went in Ed's condo. I'm in the bathroom and I'm looking at all the mud, and I'm taking the mud off me on my shirts, on my face, and it's falling on the counter, and I'm looking at the mud and I'm going, wait a minute, what the hell? I said, this is gold. I said, holy shit, I hit gold, man, right? So I was all excited. I couldn't even sleep all night. I thought I hit like the mother lode, you know what I mean? So the next day I went into town and I was going to all the jewelry stores, with the gold. I said, yo, what is this? I had like chunks,
Yeah.
And the guy said, listen, take it easy. Don't get excited. He goes, the mountain's full of this stuff. I said, well, what is it? He goes, it's pyrite. He goes, it's fool's gold. I said, Jesus Christ. I said, of course it's pyrite. I said, of course. I couldn't, I just couldn't fall in the middle of the night drunk thinking I got all lucky and shit. You know what I mean? But I didn't. I fell in like some fool's gold.
I never heard that story, by the way.
Oh, you never heard that story? Yeah, I thought I was wealthy, Dave. I was so happy when I went into the house. I go upstairs to the bed. I turned the light on, and I'm taking all the mud off me and shit. And it was falling on the counter. And I started looking at it. I'm going, what the hell is this? And I pick up a nugget. I go, holy shit! I said, this is gold. I said, I knew I had to come to California for some reason. I said, oh, this is it for me, man. I said, no. Of course, I got shot down like a Japanese kamikaze after that. But
that's why you wrecked this house. You got pissed off.
I thought I always think I got there's a reason for everything. So I was thinking there was a reason why I came to California to find the.
That's a great story. I never heard that story from you.
Oh yeah. I was there because Ed had me, I was living in Santa Monica at Ed's house in Venice Beach, right?
That's a nice house, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was on there. And one day Ed came home and he was yelling at me because I left the garage open and I was on the roof tanning, right? And I had his garage, so he came.
He was very neurotic about that.
Imagine George, I'm on the roof tanning like this. I'm like, oh, this is the life, man. I'm in California. It's my first time out there. I'm like, oh, this is gross out here.
Were you naked?
Jimmy, where are you? I said, oh my God, who the hell is that, Ed? I go downstairs. He goes, you can't leave the garage open here. He goes, this is a bad neighborhood. A bad neighborhood. I said, it's got a fucking $2 million house here. What are you talking about, a bad? He goes, you don't understand. This is Venice. He goes, there's people, gangs right down the street. I go, all right, I'm sorry, man. I had no idea,
Yeah.
So
he was very uptight. Well,
he got bent out of shape with that.
What was the story that when he opened the garage door once and Jimmy the Quinn was like banging some chick against the car there?
Jimmy met some chick in the gym. This is way back, of course, and Ed came home and he hits the remote. He pulls up to the garage and he hits the remote, and the garage opened this way. One of those garages.
Yeah.
So the door opens up, man, and there's Jimmy on Ed's Mercedes with this black girl, and he's fucking banging her on the hood of the car. You know what I mean? And Ed's like sitting there like, he couldn't believe it. He said that, of course, Jimmy stopped and all, Jimmy was nuts. He was nuts, man. Crazy. Yeah, he did that in his apartment. He was Marina Del Rey. I flew out there. This is when I was doing the intermittent thing when I finally moved. But I go out there, come home. He lent me his car. And Mike Quinn told me he bought this is when they were with WBF. Remember that when they signed with WBF? Yeah, so Jimmy was making a lot of money with that shit. So he bought this Lexus, but Jimmy, he was very tight with his money. Because when I went to his apartment, it was completely empty. Beautiful apartment, looking at the ocean and everything. And there was a little table with a phone on it. The table was probably as big as this basket, no bullshit, right? And the phone was on there with a little notepad, right? And I'm like, Jim, what the hell is that? He goes, well, it's my desk where I can take my notes. And I said, the thing is 10 inches wide. He says, I know. Then he had one little couch, and he had a kitchen table with one chair. I said, you're not expecting any people, are you? I said, you got one chair over here.
You want no guests.
Very frugal, Jimmy. I love Jimmy like that, man, but he was like that. So anyway, so Mike Quinn told me when they went to go buy the car, he bought a Lexus at the time. He said he went in the Lexus dealer, and Mike Quinn was with him, and he saw the car he's going to buy. He's going to buy cash. He had his check. He wrote the check. So he's handing the check to the car dealer like this. The check was going like this, right? And Mike goes, "Give him the check." And Jimmy's just standing there. And Mike told me the story. He goes, just give him the check. And the guy grabbed the check, and Jimmy was going like that, and the guy took the check, and Jimmy didn't want to let it go, So anyway, I go there, and he says to me, he goes, we were hanging out at his apartment. There was nowhere to sit, at the couch only, So he goes, listen, I got some babe coming over. He goes, do you want to take the car and take a ride? I says, where the hell am I going, Jim? He goes, just go down by the beach or something. I says, all right. So I pull the car in the garage, right? And Billy Smith used to come over on his bike. That was pretty cool,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. That's what made me fall in love with bikes when I saw Billy Smith at Jimmy's house, and he came over the house, and he had that blonde hair, you know what I mean? And he was wearing this long leather jacket, we went outside downstairs. I forget what highway that was. It was right along the coast, probably Pacific Coast Highway, right?
Yeah, PCH.
PCH, yeah. So, Billy gets on the bike, and he starts it, and he takes off, and his hair's going, and with the coat, and I was like, wow, that looks like something from a movie, you know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway,
you never rode before that, Jimmy?
No, I rode, but like friend's bike. I took I never owned my own bike, but when I saw Billy, when I saw Billy on the bike, it's like it looked so cool. I don't know, Billy looked cool. Back in the day, Billy was a cool dude, man. He was a big guy, man.
He was big.
I think he was like 400 pounds. No exaggeration.
Was he that big?
He was
he was a big guy. Holy shit. He was a big guy.
Yeah. Because Sven Carlson was 400 pounds. You remember Sven, right? Sven Carlson.
Well, yes, yeah, but Sven wasn't as lean as Billy.
Yeah, but Billy was in the high threes. Guarantee it. He was a big man, 6 something. He was.
Because he was tall. Yeah, he was tall.
Yeah, he was.
Is he still alive?
No, he died.
That's what I thought. He did.
So anyway, let me finish my story, Greg. So Jimmy says, just take the car. I got this girl coming over. And I says, all right, Jim. I says, I go, I don't know where I'm going. He goes, just go down, down the highway. I said, all right, so I get in the car and I'm cruising around. I park somewhere by the beach, and I'm sitting on the wooden bench like this all by myself. I'm looking at the ocean. And I'm like, I says, you know what? It's got to be long enough now. It's a few hours. I gotta. What am I gonna do when I'm sitting on? I look like a bum. I'm sitting on the park bench. So I get in the car. I take off. I go back to Jimmy's. I park in the garage. I go to his house. I open the front door. Right? And here he is on the floor, rolling around with this chick. He's banging her on the floor. And he's stark naked, banging his chick, and I'm like standing there in the kitchen, with the one chair, and I'm saying, he's he's doing this girl, and he looks at me, and he goes like he's going like this to me, you know, to join, you know what I mean? I'm like, I ain't fucking joining.
Hold on, he's on the floor. He's on the floor.
He was rolling around the living room floor, and he was like doing the girl, and then he was waving.
Oh, because he had no furniture.
No, he had no furniture. Yeah. So I was like, I said, now you know what? I made a U-turn. I got back in his car. I took off for a couple more hours. He was crazy. He was crazy. I love Jimmy, man. I tell you, he dated a lot of women, man. Let me tell you something. That guy, his legs were so fucking big, Dave. His calf. When we used to bounce together, he always wore shorts and shit, like you. Yeah. So one day he flexes. Some girl comes over. We're at the front door, and he's flexing his calf, and the girl goes, "Oh my God, what is it?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I had a bad accident." He goes, "How does it look? Is it all right?" She's looking at the things like that, like 3 or 4 main. It was striated, you know what I mean? Like it was sick looking, and she was like touching it. Oh my God! I'm like, oh my God! Yeah. Funny.
These girls pretend like they don't like it, but they really do like it. Yeah.
Well, she was touching it and everything, He said he had an accident. That's why the calf looked like that. Oh, crazy! Yeah. So anyway, I've been training a little bit, So another thing, I gotta also straighten something out. You said somebody told me something that you said on the last show.
Right.
That you said that we met each other at Metrics and we started hanging out, and I'm like, wait a minute, we met each other at Metrics? I said, we met way before that, Dave, way before Metrics.
No, I said I met you at the gym, World Gym Babylon. I said, I used to go to your house and you used to give me your Metrex because you didn't drink it. I said.
Oh yeah, I used to give you like cases of that shit.
Yeah,
I know, yeah.
Cases.
Yeah, because I don't drink any of that stuff. But
he only eats hot dogs. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, the real thing, the real deal. I don't want some powder and a glass of milk. I want meat. I want hot dogs. You know what I mean?
Sausage and peppers.
Real food.
So yeah, we know each other. I don't even know. I'm thinking about because you were at my wedding too, and I knew you before that.
Yeah.
And
had to be early '90s.
No, it had to be before because
no, it couldn't have been because I was in school until before that, so it had to be early '90s.
Wait, so 1992, I made the cover of MD, right? It
was probably right around that time I met you.
Remember, because Steve Blackman had Matsuro Akabe shoot me
it was right around that time. That's when I met you. Yeah,
it was right around that time. So
and I believe it was at World Gym Babylon. I think you came in there with your own bench. I remember you brought your own like hammerstone bench because Tony Campagna wouldn't let you train on Carl Campagna. They wouldn't let you train on their bench. They said he brought his own bar and his own bench. That's what he used to train on.
Did you really? You walked in there
I didn't get along with Campagna. Oh my God, that guy.
He was all right. He was just a little.
Not Tony, the old man, and I didn't get along.
Oh, the father. Yeah.
He was very rigid, but yeah, he's a rule guy.
And I think the sister, right, Dave? The sister worked there too. I think.
Yeah, the whole family worked there. The whole family.
Yeah.
The father was like a rule guy. Like if you if you showed up, because they ran the NPC before Steve Weinberger. If you showed up at like an NPC show, like 3 minutes late for the competitor meeting, you didn't compete.
Wait a minute. I used to run shows.
You could have been dieting your whole life. You could have said, listen, I got stuck in traffic. He'd be like, sorry, you're not competing. They didn't
Wait a minute. I used to run shows for the NPC, and he was the district chairman, and he would take a percentage of the door. He was doing shit he wasn't supposed to do.
I'm sure.
He would even tell me, are you using that roll of duct tape? And I'd be like, yeah, why? Because I need a roll of duct tape. And he took my duct tape, like little stupid shit like that. And then me and him had a bad argument at a Champions Day.
Is that the father, Greg, you're talking
about? Yeah, not Tony.
Carl.
Tony used to say, I'm a boxer and all this bullshit. But Carl, the father. And then we had an argument. I was with Paul DeMeo. It was like maybe 1991. And it was at the...
Paul DeMeo?
Yeah, remember Paulie DeMeo
at he was a nice guy.
Remember when Bob would have the Champions Day at the Strong and Shape League?
Yeah. Yep.
It was there upstairs, and he kept telling me, "I'm gonna want to fucking."
Didn't he shoot his wife or some shit, or he?
No, he pulled a gun on the one.
No, you know who he was with? Denise Paglia, and he shot a gun in the air, but she destroyed him, bro. Oof.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
she destroyed that fucking
He died,
guy.
Right? Paul passed
away,
right?
Yep.
Heroin overdose.
He was supposed to come down here just a little bit before he died.
He got hooked on heroin.
He's a good guy, man.
Hurt his calf muscle before the NPC Nationals in '94, and then they put him on Percocets. I remember I met him for the first time at Vinnie Hansick's store. He did an appearance there with Connolly.
Oh, I remember Vinnie's store. Remember that place by Uncle Sam's?
Yeah. And he said, man, he goes, I'm doing these Percocets. They're fucking great. He goes, I'm not even hungry for my diet. And will that progress to like a heroin?
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah. Poor guy. He had it bad, but she destroyed him, though. I mean, she destroyed that guy.
Well, he had a really nice girlfriend.
Yeah, her name was Jill. He was.
It's funny, Greg. You mentioned Denise Paglia, right?
Yeah.
So I'm at the Metrix booth at one of the shows. It's probably the Olympia or something. And she comes running over to the booth. Scott Connolly was there. And she's like, Jimmy, come here. You know, and she grabbed by my arm and we're going through the crowd. And, you know, we get over to this curling machine. It was like you sit in it and it was like a preacher curl machine kind of, right? You put your elbows on the pad.
Right.
And you had to curl this freaking thing. I don't know what it was. And she wanted me to break the record. Some guy had it. He was sitting there. He actually broke the record. And whoever broke the record gets the machine. So Denise had me run over there. So I went over there. And when I came up to the booth, the guy was going, "Oh no, man!" So I went on there. I think, bro, I was busting him out, man. I just loaded the shit up, right? So I won the machine. So Scott took it and went in his gym in Irvine.
Oh, you did with the machine?
That's Paul and Denise right there. That's her.
Yeah.
Bro, she destroyed me. He told me.
They call him Quadzilla. That was his nickname.
Yeah, Quadzilla. Right? Lonnie Teeper gave him.
I can't believe I'm even remembering this shit because I wasn't really a big bodybuilding guy. But
so Jimmy, who curled more, you or the Barbarian brothers? Because Peter was telling me that he used to do the 160s curls with the 160 dumbbells. I've seen you do 150s for like 10 good reps.
Yeah.
I think you probably were a little stronger, right?
I probably could have done a little more. I mean, like, you know, when I was training at Mike's gym, and Mike in Gold's Gym in Northport. What was Mike's last name? Mike
Demodio? Or no?
No, not Mike Demodio. No, it was on Lockfield Road by the railroad tracks. There was a Gold's Gym there. Yeah. And Mike owned this guy. Mike owned it.
Yeah, wasn't Bill Leonella there in that gym too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, Billy used to train there. Yeah. That's the gym I came in one night. I was on cocaine with Jimmy Quinn, and I was kicking that. I was kicking, and they had hanging plants. And I was kicking. I was jumping up, kicking the plants. They were like 7 foot high, you know. And what's his name? It was Gary. He owned the gyms in the one you went to in not Merrick, in Merrick.
Oh, Glenn. You mean Glenn Morale?
Glenn Morale. I'm sorry. Glenn, yeah. Glenn was working there. I walk in the gym with Quinn. We were snorting coke in the car. And the only reason why we did it, we wanted we were always looking to push the envelope and really, because me and Jimmy trained extremely hard, right? So we were like, fuck it, let's try this shit. So we were snorting in the car, And then the training went right out the window, right? So we go in the gym. Glenn's working. I'm running around like a nut. I'm kicking the fucking plant. And Glenn's like, you guys got to stop. You're wrecking the place. And Jimmy was running around. And then we left. We didn't do anything. We didn't even train, So much for that. Yeah, that was funny shit. But Glenn owned the gym there.
But I remembered seeing you doing it at World Gym Babylon, the 150s for reps.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so Mike, the owner of that Gold's Gym in Northport, he got the 180s for me, bro. I used to do the flat flies when they were black cast iron, huge dumbbells. And they used to hand it to me. I have a video of it. I'll send it to you. And I was doing flat flies with 180s, man. I had my keys in my gym shorts with my beeper. I used to have the beeper back then,
Yeah.
And I'm doing the 180s, like that in the gym. And I probably could have CD curled them if I tried, but for some reason I always stopped at 150 and just repped out. But
because no one else was doing that,
Nah. I used to do stand-up curls in Mike's gym downstairs. And
Right.
I used to go 275 for reps. You know what I mean? I used to just put the 245s on, the quarters on the end, and just go ape shit.
I don't know how you did it, because you did it was a lot of front delt too you used in there, which is a small muscle.
Yeah, because what I would do is how I did it was I would set the bar like right here, you know, on the hip, right?
Yeah.
And then I would kind of like, you know, hump the weight. And then I would just get it up, and I would bring it up to like the top of my head.
That's harder than doing a regular curl, I think.
Yeah. So the movement was like, you know, it was like this. The movement, you know, that's how it was. Like it was going like that, you know. And I was doing 275. I did 365 in the World's Gym. Yeah, I got calcified. You know, it's funny when I hurt my arm. I hurt my arm once. So I went to the doctor, and I said, you know, he X-rayed my elbow and everything. You know, this is like the day after I benched. And he comes back over to me. He goes, James? I go, yeah. He goes, your elbow's broken. I said, I said, my elbow's broken? I said, what are you talking about? My elbow's broken. He goes, I did the X-ray. It's all busted up. I said, listen, doc, I just benched 5-something yesterday. How can I have a broken elbow if I'm benching 5-something? I says, you know, thank you very much. And I left there, you know. But I have calcified elbow, so in the X-ray, I guess it looked all, you know, black and whatever the hell the bone looks like, it's calcified. So
well, you had some kind of surgery, I remember, when they moved the nerve, right?
I had to relocate the nerve. Yeah, you imagine that? So on the left arm, I was training with Jimmy, of course, and my hand started going like numb, you know, because I was always doing skull crushes with, you know, 500-600 pounds, skull 315 for reps, right? I was a nut job. So anyway, I guess all of that, the canal in the elbow started, because in the elbow, the nerve goes through like a little canal, you know, right up in here. So it started, I guess it started growing. The bone, it was calcifying, it was squeezing the nerve off. So my freaking hand was starting to die, right? So I was being the stubborn guy I am, you know, I was like, no way, I'm going to just train through it. So I started strapping shit to the because I couldn't hold on to the bar anymore. So I was taking the bar and like strapping my hand around it so I could do this, because I couldn't hold on to the bar, right? So then it was getting so bad that when I couldn't feel my hand anymore, and it started looking like Skeletor. It was all the bones were coming out, right? And I go to get, this is what made me go get the surgery, because one day I was in the mall, I went to get change, and I put my hand in my pocket, and all my fingers were sticking out of the pocket. I didn't know my hand was supposed to be in the pocket. And I looked down, I see all my fingers out of the pocket. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't feel anything. I said, that's it. I gotta go, you know. So that's when I got the surgery, you know.
What did you tell me the doctor said something to you? You were like, they couldn't believe how bad it was?
Yeah, he was here. Yeah, when I first went in there and they did the MRI, the CAT scan, whatever. He says, he goes, listen, he goes, that nerve is, he goes, I don't even know how the hell you got it like that. He said, he goes, it's so impinged. He said, what the hell do you do for a living? I says, well, I lift a lot of heavy weight for a very long time. He says, well, you destroyed your arm. He goes, we got to go in there. We got to cut the bone, get the nerve out while we can, because if it dies, it ain't never coming back. I said, really? Holy shit, I can't have that, man. I said, I'm in the middle of my career here, you know. So he cut the bone, and they pulled the nerve out, and they ran it. So now the nerve runs down the forearm here, you know, outside the bone.
Wow.
So if I'm driving a car and I put you know how you put your hand on the window in the summertime, you're driving, yeah? My hand goes numb because the nerve is in the forearm.
It's right there, yeah.
Because he told me there was 2 ways to do it. Cut the muscle and put the nerve under the muscle and then put everything back. But it takes like a year, you know, and you lose some strength. As soon as I heard that, I was like, do you have an alternative? He goes, yeah. He goes, just take it and lay it under the skin. I said, do that. So that's what he did.
And your strength came back after that, right?
Yeah, it did. It took a few months, because he, you know, after a few months, I called him up. I said, you know, my hand's still, it's very thin, and you know, he goes, just think about this. He says, as long as it took for the nerve to get that way, your hand to get like that, it's going to take that long. You know, the nerve is slow healing. You know, it's going to take that long. So it came back. You know, but I still get tingling.
Little did the doctor know about Anadrol 50.
I didn't know. Yeah, and all the Sustanon and all the other shit.
Jimmy got Tommy John surgery.
What was that?
You got like Tommy John surgery.
No, Tommy John's shoulder surgery. I remember when he got that surgery done. I was like, I don't know if this guy's going to be able to lift anymore. After he told me what they were doing, and he was back and doing everything normal. So.
Well, that's when I tore my pec, Dave. I tore the one pec, right?
Right.
And Mike was the one that is, I went to like 3 doctors. So this is what you do. This is for the audience too. If you ever got a problem or you need surgery, go to like several doctors, man. Right? you got to go shopping, man, because some guys are ready to cut you. Some guys say don't cut. You know what I mean? So you really, it's a business. You know what I mean? So I tore my pec. I tore this pec in the what's his name's gym, Pomomio, the world's gym in Babylon, right?
Like Pomomio?
Yeah. I don't know if he liked me.
Gym.
So. Yeah, I don't know if he liked me 100% when I used to come there, but
I think they were worried you were going to break the equipment.
I don't know if they liked me because I trained very heavy.
I think every gym was worried because I went to gyms with you and you asked us to leave a few times because you were screaming too loud.
I got thrown out of that gym in Pittsburgh. Jeff King's wife or some shit owned the gym up in there. This is going back. Dorian Yates was there with Steve Weinberger.
Wasn't that Kim King or something like that? Kim King and
Jeff King. It was Jeff King, wasn't it?
Well, I think his wife was Kim King. I think she just died recently too.
Did she really? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I walk in the gym. This was in Pittsburgh when we were doing Jim Manion's and Steve's show up there, right? So see how I'm in the bodybuilding world a little bit. So anyway. Yeah, a little bit. Don't ask me what's going on today. I have no idea. But anyway, I walk in the gym. I wasn't even in the gym 5 minutes, man. And I said hello to Dorian and Steve. They were there, And she comes running over. She says, "I know who you are." I said, "Okay." I said, "How you doing?" She goes, "You're that guy, that bull guy. I know who you are." I said, "Okay." You got me. I said, is everything all right? She goes, "You make one sound in here, you're out. You're out of my." I said, "I won't make any sound. I promise. I'll be quiet." She goes, "You got a reputation of destroying gyms. You're not going to destroy my gym." I said, "This is a true story." I says, "I'm not going to destroy your gym. I don't know what stories you're hearing about me." I said, it's probably like a myth." She goes, No. She goes, "I have friends. You destroyed their gym." I says, "All right, no problem, ma'am." I said, "I'm going to go nice and easy." I went over there. I was doing seated rows. I'll never forget it. I'm sitting down. I got my feet up. I'm doing the seated rows. I was going kind of light. Then I went a little heavy. Then I went a little heavier. And I just let the weight, I didn't really let it go. I kind of, it tapped, She came running over like a referee. "Get out!" She goes, "Get out of this gym." I said, "What did I do?" She goes, "You slammed the weight. I told you if you." I said, "I didn't do it." I said, "Listen, I'm out of here." I left. Threw me out of the gym, bro.
And they had a bodybuilding gym too. That's the weird thing.
I couldn't understand it, man. She hated me the minute.
I hate people that. I went to a gym in Naples, Florida once, where the guy followed me around the whole time too, and was every time if the dumbbell hit the floor too hard, he was like having a nervous breakdown. I said, "Listen, I can't train like this." I said, I'm not lifting like 20-pound weights here. You can't put 130s down, quietly. They hit the floor, they make noise.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you have a gym and it's a hardcore gym, and then you expect people to not make noise, and
it's like a Planet Fitness. That shit's like Planet Fitness. You know what I mean? Make a noise, drop a weight.
Yeah, but not if it's a hardcore gym, then it's a hardcore gym. If it's not a hardcore gym, different story.
I trained in that gym, Greg, the Planet Fitness and
right.
some other. And I went in there. I was training with a friend of mine, and he said, "Listen, don't yell," because I'm known for yelling in the gym, right? So I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "They got a siren. A siren goes off if you yell. Like it's like a point, huh?
A lunk alarm, they call it.
Yeah. Did you set it off?
Alarm.
Yeah. I set it off. So the manager came over and he said, "Listen, you can't do that." I said, "What did I do?" He says, "You put the weight down a little hard." I says, "You kidding me, right?" I says, "First of all, you guys don't have enough weight in this gym for me anyway. So you know what?" I said, "On that note, I'm out of here." And I just left. I never went back.
You know what the funny thing is?
A hunk alarm?
They call it a lunk alarm. A lunk alarm. The fucking thing goes off like a fire. Like there's a fire in the place. You know what I mean? And then everybody looks at you like, Oh shit!
Jimmy
He
can't be
screams.
quiet when he lifts.
I thought it was a
Jimmy's-
fire.
is the noise he makes. It's
Yeah,
can't
I
lift
learned.
without
Listen,
making
I
noise.
learned that from karate back in the day. You know, when I used to train with. Yeah, and, George, no shit. You know, when you that's what they do, right? When you throw a punch, you know what I mean? Like that's what we did. So it draws the, it brings the power out, right? So I transferred that into the weight. So every time I lifted,
You know what though?
I did.
Every person I've ever seen lift heavy,
there's not a heavy
makes
lifter that
noise.
doesn't scream.
We all
Just
make the noise when the weight gets heavy enough. I don't know what it is. It must be instinctual. It just helps you push the weight up. I don't know what it does, but it just happens.
Not one.
I make noise. I used to make noise when I would get heavy weights. I'd be like, not as bad as Jimmy, but
Dude, after I do my leg press, Dave, even though it's I'm doing so many reps, I do it, like that fucking hip shit. It takes me 4 minutes.
It helps you breathe.
I
helps you breathe.
like,
Dave, listen to this. So I got to tell you something. I did a little research on that. Letting out that chi yell, right?
Yeah.
And that's called controlled breathing. Believe it or not, a lot of guys lift, and when they lift, they go like this. You can't do that. So we used to go like that.
Right.
It's a type of controlled breathing. So
you know what
you're breathing out, but you're stopping it. You're controlling it, so you're not blowing a vessel in
Jimmy,
your head or anything like that.
It creates a rhythm for you because sometimes you gotta like.
Of course.
It's a rhythm that you actually, it's in your head. Your head has a rhythm. It's almost
I actually brought that into the bedroom when I was making it. She didn't like it too much, but I had to put a cap on it, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's all about George is there. It's all about the thrust, the power,
man.
I used to tell people when I used to train, and then I'm going to tell you about the VA. So anyway, I used to tell people. I went to the VA.
You thought this was going to be a quick show today. It's not. No.
I got to tell you about the VA. So anyway, I used to tell people, listen, man, because people used to write, when I used to do the dumbbell curls, or straight bar. Yeah, I cheated, man. I used body momentum. I did, and actually, I had a couple of doctors tell me that it saved me the partial reps. I didn't tear tendons and stuff because I did a little bit of a partial movement, right? So, but anyway, lifting like the way I did the partial movement, I used to explain to people at the booth. I said, listen, when you take the garbage out, I said, let me ask you a question, okay? I said, when you take the garbage out, you go to the side of the house. I said, do you lift the garbage pail up like this? And go to the front and go to the street with the garbage pail like this. Is that what you do? Or do you take the garbage pail and you're using body momentum, right? To bring the pail. Everything is body momentum. You throw a football, the whole body's involved in that, right? From the back all the way, the whole body's involved, and that's what I incorporated in my weightlifting. I did the same thing. I used body momentum in everything I did because I wanted to go heavy. I didn't give a shit about form and going strict. That wasn't my thing. So I used to explain that to people. I said, when you start going heavy, you can't go strict. Because I used to have people write me, I'll give Jimmy $1,000 if we could tie him to the bench and let him do the dumbbell curls. Yeah, okay, you're gonna tie me to the bench. I'm gonna hang two 150s down on my side, and I'm just gonna curl the 150. It don't happen, man. It don't happen. You got to use body momentum, right? That's what it's all about. Football players do it. Even when you throw down to a frisbee. When you throw a frisbee, a freaking plastic frisbee, you know what I mean? You get back here, right? And you toss your frisbee, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's all
Using
body
your whole
momentum.
body.
Exactly.
Right. And that's what I did with my weightlifting. So people knocked it, but you know what? That's what I did. So
they couldn't repeat it. They could knock it all they want, but they couldn't do it themselves.
Well, I used to tell people that, when like with my bench, I used to do the assisted bench, and I used to tell people, look, man, I'm not. This is not like a parlor trick or something like that. I said, I'm having my friends spot me, and I'm getting as many reps as I can out of the weight. I want to feel the weight. You know what I mean? And so my theory was, if your best bench was 315, that's your best. Okay, but you do that every week, 315. It's going to take you forever to get to 365, right? Because you're going to 315 every week. But if you take 405 or 365, and you have your friend do force reps with that 365, right? Giving you a little spot in the middle of the bar, right? And you do that every week, and you go back to 3. Before you know it, the 315 is going to become light because you've been going force reps with the heavier weight.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like the baseball players do. They put donuts on the end of the bat. There's a reason why they do that. Okay, when they're in the cage, you know, and they're getting ready to come up the bat, they'll put 3-4 donuts on the bat. Why? Because they're swinging the baseball bat with the donuts because it's heavy, right? But once you take the donuts off that bat is like light as hell. You know what I mean? So now they get out there and they swing that bat like, you know, like it's not even there. You know what I mean? Because that's the theory. That's the theory I did all my life in the gym. The same thing, man. It's like putting ankle weights on your wrist and shadow box for like 10 minutes with.
But I
those.
think
You take those ankle weights off after 10 minutes of this shit in the air, right? And you take them ankle weights off, your hands are gonna be like forget about it, you know, because you took the weight off. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same theory.
I think it's sometimes mentally that you know that somebody's there, because when I spotted Jimmy on the women's extravaganza, he reverse gripped. Fucking, I tell the story. I know somebody thinks, Valentino, tell the same story. But Jimmy did a reverse grip with like 600 pounds bench. And I remember saying to him, please God, Jimmy, just because there was nobody else there. It was just me. But I think just the fact that I didn't even touch the bar. He did like 3 reps. You know what I mean? Clean reps with it. But I think just the fact that knowing that somebody's there, sometimes you get stronger. Do you ever go to help somebody? You put your hands under the bar and also
they lift it up. Yeah,
they push it straight up.
SIBO.
Listen, you know what got me started with this whole thing. You know, I went in the Marine Corps later when I was a little older, but when I was younger, I used to pedal my bicycle. Probably when I was when my dad died, I was probably 14. I used to pedal my bike up to Warwick High School. That was the only freaking gym around. There was no gyms around back in the day. It was like Jack LaLanne.
Right.
Lucille Roberts, maybe, you know. And then one time I went into a gay gym and I had no idea it was gay. I went into a gym on New York Avenue and I'm working out with the weights and I'm noticing the guys look a little strange. I was young, you know. And I went in the locker room and they're looking at me and and all of a sudden I realized, wait a minute, these guys, I'm in a gay gym over here, man. They had like the chrome dumbbells, right? I got very uncomfortable. So I got out of that gym. I was there for maybe an hour training and I was like, I'll never go back there again because they were all, every time I bent over, you know, to get like a dumbbell or something, I turn around and these guys are looking at me like I'm, you know, looking at my stare at my
making
butt.
a noise,
You
know?
Tell us what happened at the VA because we're already almost an hour and a half here already. Tell us what happened at the VA.
Not with me, you know, with an hour and a half.
No, but the show in general. So,
so you know, my show.
By the way, I don't know what happened, but for some reason, no one can make comments anymore. I don't know what happened. Sid's trying to figure it out, but you're still live, so go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, you know, I sleep at night. I don't know if Greg, you have shoulder problems at all or no?
Yeah. You know what it is? I'm constantly getting numb. You sleep with your hand, like, you know, your shoulder. You get like pins and needles in your arms. You sleep this way. Fuck, you gotta move. Then that way, yes. I sleep
literally. I sleep with about probably 6 pillows.
Me too, Jimmy. I gotta sleep with a bunch of pillows. Yeah, you saw it.
Right, that's right. I mean, Lee laid on it, right?
Yeah, you guys laid.
Talking about Lee, that bastard. Wait, have you talked to him lately? I gotta call him.
Yeah. He's in the comments. He's been watching the whole show.
He is?
Yeah.
Lee, what's up, man? You know, you could call me once in a while, bro. All right, so anyway.
You don't love Jimmy. You don't love Jimmy, Lee. Lee doesn't love you anymore. That's what his problem is.
Yeah, you and Lee, man. I don't know. It's like I always reach out to you guys. I love the both of you.
He's mad at
He's mad at me?
Yeah. No,
he's not mad at you.
No, he's not mad at you.
Oh.
I'm teasing you.
Oh, I'll call him right now. All right, so anyway, I sleep with, like, you know, I got a pillow here. I got a pillow here.
Me too.
I wake up in the morning, my arm is out like this, you know what I mean? And my hands freezing because it's cold. So at night, my hands frozen. I gotta bring it back in, you know what I mean?
Me too.
Yeah. So I made an appointment to go see the doctor, you know. So I went and got X-rays. This was a little while ago. So they called me up, you know, and I had to go yesterday. They want to see me. I'm like, oh shit, they want to see me. Okay. I thought it was for my spine. So I go in the I go and sit down with the doctor. I go, I think he was gay. Nice guy though. I says I say, so I see a picture of a spine on the office wall, right? So I'm looking at, I go, well, that's a nice spine, Doc. This is how old I'm getting. I'm talking about people's spines now, right? I go, that's a nice spine here. You know, he goes, man, not really. I said, not really. I said, it looks a lot better than mine. You know what I mean? He goes, well, we're not here for the spine. I says, oh, I thought we were here for the spine. He goes, no, we're here for your shoulder. Oh, okay. I says, I'm sorry. I thought it was here for my spine. You know what I mean? He goes, yeah. He goes, I want to talk about your shoulder. I said, all right, yeah. He goes,
you go to the VA so much you don't even know what the problem is anymore.
I thought it was going for the spine. I had no idea.
I'm saying you're at the VA so much. You have so many specialists over there. You don't even know who you're going to see anymore.
Bro, it's so busy. There's no park. I had to park on the grass. So there was a cop there, sergeant. I said, excuse me, sergeant. I said, you mind that my Jeep is I'm on the grass? You mind? Don't give me a ticket. He goes, don't worry about it. I said, thank you. So anyway, I go in there, and it's not the spine, it's the shoulder. So the doctor goes, he wants.
Hold on, you just got
muted. Mute. You're muted.
He's gonna break my balls now.
Oh, Lee's calling you now.
Oh yeah. He ain't gonna stop. He's not gonna stop. Watch. Hey, now he calls me because like I say something on the show. God forbid you call me. I could be in the bed half dead. God forbid you call me. So now the doctor's explaining to me the shoulder like I'm a retarded. He goes, there's the socket and then there's the ball. And the ball, I said, yeah, I know, Doc. I know about the ball in the socket. I said, what's up with the shoulder? I got arthritis, right? He goes, you got severe arthritis in that shoulder. I said, well, how about the other one? He goes, you got arthritis in that shoulder too. I says, well, I have trouble wiping my butt. I says, my arm hurts. I can't, He says, listen, James, he goes, you're still lifting, obviously. He goes, you're 66. He goes, you look great. He goes, but you got to slow down on the training. I said, there's no fucking way I'm slowing down the training, Doc, He goes, you're going to need shoulder replacement soon. You keep going. I said, shoulder replacement? I
got a good doctor for you.
I go, wait a minute. I said, I need shoulder replacement? He goes, you got to, he goes, don't.
He did it again. He called Jimmy again.
Yeah. He's doing it purposely. He's doing it purposely.
I know he's doing. I know what he's doing. I know. He's breaking my shot.
Ruin your mojo.
He's making you reach to the thinking.
He's fucking up your story.
And now I'm going to call him after the show. I'm going to break his balls. So anyway, he's telling me. I said, yeah, he won't answer. Right. I know. Yeah. So I said, listen, if I get the shoulder replacement, I says, I'll be good, man. Right? He goes, no. He won't be able to lift at all. I said, I won't be able to lift at all? I said, what are you talking about?
That's not true. Yeah.
He says, he goes, maybe 15 pounds. I said, 15 pounds? I said, are you out of your mind? I said, you hear what you're saying to me? You're talking to a guy based over 1,000 pounds. I'm still curling fucking 185. I'm 15 pounds. I said, I can't do 15 pounds, Doc. I can't. Forget about the shoulder surgery. Forget it. He goes, you got to calm down on the weight then, don't do presses. I said, yeah, okay. I said, you know what? How come I feel better when I train? Can you answer me that? He goes, you're stretching it out. I said, good, fine. That's why. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grow the muscle more, stretch out, and can I get another 10 years? He goes, everybody's different. I said, good, that's fine. That means I can. Thank you. I got up and I walked out of the office. He goes, I'll see you in 6 months. I go, yeah, I'll be in 6 months.
Jimmy, stay away from that doctor.
Jimmy,
yeah, right away he wants to cut me, Dave. Huh?
You might need a shoulder replacement down the road. If you do, I wouldn't let this guy do it. That's for sure.
No, I don't want it. He's telling me.
I have 2 shoulder replacements. I lift heavy weights, so I mean.
You do?
I lift. I'm not doing the weight that you do, but I do. I do.
This guy's telling me I can only lift 15 pounds, maybe. I said, well, how about I drive a truck?
That's for like the old people. That's for the old people.
I said, what about the truck? I got to turn that freaking wheel. I said, how about that? He goes, you might be able to do it. I says, might. I says, I'm out of here, man. I said, thank you very much for your time. I says, have a good day. I'm out of here, man. Don't forget, 6 months, make the appointment. I said, yeah, I'll make the appointment at desk. No problem. I left. I walked out of here.
Well,
I'm thinking if I got a new shoulder, I'd be like the Bionic Man. I'd be benching 4 or 5 plates again. You know what I mean? This guy's telling me 15 pounds. I can't even take the garbage out. You're telling me 15 pounds.
Well, Jimmy, I want to thank you for joining us because you made me laugh and put a smile on everyone's face. So,
I love you, Jimmy.
Glad you're back.
I love you too.
And Romano's in Mexico on vacation.
That guy takes more vacations than anybody I know,
doctor with an infection. Yeah. We needed you, Jimmy.
Yes.
John, every
he's
time
always on vacation.
John, he's
the whack pack is hurting right now.
He's always on vacation.
He's always on vacation, that guy.
No,
he must have you know the old Italians, Greg, they hide the money under the pillow and shit.
Oh yeah,
he must have a shitload of money, John.
That
son of a bitch is always on vacation. He's building rivers in his backyard. He's building bikes. He's going to Mexico. He's telling me, bro, that guy's got more money than ever. I haven't had a vacation in 3 years. This guy's in Mexico. He just went to Mexico.
He's got coffee cans hidden in the backyard. Remember the old Italians?
He does. He's like an old Italian. You know, John is an old Italian.
Like Rocky Marciano.
Lee's calling him again. Lee's calling him.
Yeah.
They would dig the fucking.
I gotta wrap this up.
I don't know what he does with all his money, man. Next time I go down there, man, we're gonna go out. He's gonna
build a bike.
Steakhouse down there.
We gotta go in his backyard, Jimmy. We gotta take some home. Find that money.
Hey, the guy built a river in his backyard. Did you see that? Did you see that?
I know. I saw it.
Huh?
I saw it.
Beautiful.
Oh, it was unbelievable, man.
Jimmy, why don't you let John build you a bike?
Yeah, I should let him redo mine. That's what I should do.
Yeah.
That fucking guy's so talented.
He can customize it. He can put like a Jimmy the Bull on it.
He's very talented. I went in his garage that he built. You know what I mean? His huge, 30-foot ceilings and shit.
No, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
I don't know how he's got that in his hands.
He built that rock wall thing in his backyard. He redirected the river. I says, "What are you, God?"
I know.
I said, "You redirected the river? How did you do it? Yeah, what are you like? Right, you're parting the sea here with that, Like but he did an amazing job. Yeah.
You do that shit over here in New York, you get fucking, they fine you. Over there,
forget about it. Over here,
over in New York, they'd be like, "Oh, you fucked up the river. Now you got to pay for that shit."
Oh, you can't do anything over here. Forget about it. They lock you up in a minute.
Yeah, it's fucking unbelievable.
Thank God, I'm past all of that with the ex-wife and the job. Forget about it, man. With the jail.
We love you, Jimmy. Thank you for stopping by.
I love you, brother.
Hopefully
I love you too.
Be back next week.
All right.
And we send our prayers out to Amin in prison, Armand at the doctor. Hopefully, John's having a great vacation.
Oh, yeah, Armand.
We'll see you guys back again next week. George, you're going to get one more chance. You screwed up the intro. Give us a good outro.
What
happened to your 4K camera? I can't even see you anymore.
It's pixelated.
You got a 4K camera. You look like you're on webcam.
It's pixelated.
You look terrible.
Eat your Wheaties. Say your prayers.
You were in 4K in the beginning of the show.
The poor guy.
Hold on, wait. Let me go back. Let me see.
George alone. Let me tell you something about George, Dave.
Camera
Let me tell you something.
What the heck happened?
That guy, George, you're talking about right there, our friend. You ever see him surf, man? I saw a video of him the other day surfing. I couldn't believe it, the way he surfs, this guy.
He's good.
I got on that board. I'd fall off the board. I would drown. They'd have to come get me. I'd be sinking.
Me too.
Spuds McKenzie does a better job than George, though, from what I can
too.
see.
I wouldn't be able to fucking do shit.
Oh,
what, surfing?
Spuds McKenzie. Remember Spuds?
He managed the dog. Yeah. Remember they used to show the dog like in the 80s and shit or whatever?
All right, here you go, George. Here's your chance. You back in 4K? Nope, you're not.
Now he's muted.
It's the internet.
He blew the intro. He blew the outro. I'm going to tell you, never give up.
No, I'm going to tell you.
Never give up.
Never give up. Never give up because Jesus loves you, baby.